Hi everyone, this is gonna be another chess video. I just came home from a relatively long game. I played it here. This is a new tournament. It starts now, so end of May, and it will last until about December. So one game every 2 or 3 weeks or so. So in the end, there's gonna be 11 games. So 12 people, all against all. I played against somebody who is about 200 points higher rated than me, and I'm not gonna tell you what the final result was. And at the end of this video, I will have a puzzle for you, and I hope when I upload I will have also a timestamp, so if you really don't want to know anything about the opening or anything, you can just skip right there and try to figure it out. So I played d4, and I didn't really prepare for him, so I should have, but I didn't. c4, bishop g7, so this is the modern defense. You might have seen in one of my videos that I played the modern as well. Knight c3 is one of the moves, I'm not gonna get into it. d6, and now here I have a choice, but let's just show you. I can just show you what I played, and was perfectly fine. e4, of course, knight f6 would be the king's Indian, but he just played e5, which is the independent variation, and I just took it. This is a well-known line that I knew because I'm playing this with black, so I knew that white can play like this. f4. So basically, white takes over the center, so to speak, and tries to organize his forces. Well, f4. He played knight c6, knight f3, and now knight d4. So this is still theory, although I didn't know it anymore. But yeah, bishop d3. Basically, I'm covering c2. Of course, that was his threat, and I'm just asking him what's up because I still have more space. So he needs to do something. So I'm attacking, of course, e5 at the moment. So I can take with the knight. Just a sec. I guess you have some issues, yeah, with how do I do this? Not sure. Oh yeah, I think I know what to do. Oh yeah, no more cursor for you because it's just confusing. I have to figure out, but I'll figure it out later, how to include a cursor that is actually where I see it. Okay, so this is what I'm threatening. Of course, the most straightforward thing that he can do is take. I took. And now he just played c6. It's kind of his idea is to put his king to c7. Now I played something that apparently this has been played a few times. This is the so-called Averbach variation, one of the lines. I played bishop e3, so of course castling long was one option. And just a sec. Bishop e3 is one option. On the other hand, what I've seen played before was f takes e5. Sorry. F takes, bishop takes, bishop e3, knight f6. Of course, this is all a little bit... It's not forced at all, right? Oh wait, no, just castling long. And this was pretty good. Now, this is like 80% for white, so apparently it's a good line. Of course, this bishop guy has no squares. It's supposed to be a bad bishop, but on the other hand, what they often say is that when you have a space advantage, usually you don't really have a bad bishop. So if you have a lot of space, then you can always figure something out, basically. But this hasn't been played at all. In other games, black preferred to play knight e7, and for some reason this is better for black. No idea why, don't ask me. So let's just go through the game instead. Bishop e3, king c7. And now I thought I would I don't know what I mean, there's lots of options here. I went for h4, which is somewhat logical, but also not too much. So he played bishop h6. Of course, in principle, I have more development than he does, and I can also at some point castle along, and I will have quite a harmonious setup. And he will always find it a little bit tough to find good squares for his pieces. On the other hand, I am a bit overextended, so he will generally find enough, not counterplay, but some kind of weaknesses in my camp to exploit. So h4, bishop h6, attacking f4, of course. So I just played knight e2. Now, so I'm attacking e5, of course, but he has this pin, right? So now he just played bishop e6. I played king f2, protecting my bishop. Probably it was not the best move. Probably I can just castle along at some point, but let's just go through it, because there will come a very interesting moment very soon. So, rook d8, rook a d1, and f6. Now I thought of the following thing. I thought of, can I take on a7? I thought, well, if I take on a7 and he comes rook a8, maybe he just takes my pawn. Maybe it's not so good. So let's prepare this with a3. And now he played knight e7, and now we are at maybe the crucial point of the whole game. And maybe I should just come to the bottom left corner so you can see the notation. Sorry about the setup. The question is, can I take on a7? And try to figure out. So this was my idea, and I'm not even gonna tell you whether or not I did this. Can I play bishop takes a7? Maybe a simple one, maybe a hard one, but I'm not gonna tell you what I did, and I'm not gonna tell you whether or not it was right. You don't need to pause the video because it will end right here.